Welcome back to the 61st edition of the Rick Hill Pro Bells Beach, presented by Bonsoy. We've got the current world number one out there now, and he is surfing against Indonesia's Rio Waida. And Griffin starts with a really nice release in the pocket. Couple of big hits on the outside as he brings it through to the center section of this ride. Nice carve, mixing things up, cutting back to the foam now, and looking to roll right through to a big finish on the inside here. A positive start for the surfer from San Clemente as he rolls through to this final section and gives it a good hit. And on the outside, it looks like Rio's going to get a chance too. Rio already achieving his best finish in a CT event by cracking these semi-finals. Can he go all the way and cause a massive upset here, overcoming the current world number one, cutting back to the whitewater. Nice looking flow. Boards are looking sharp at the moment for Rio. He's really clicked in this event as it stands up nicely on the inside. Gets some good release there. And again, just hammers the end section. And he's out of there. Rio Waida up against Griffin. Numbers in from the opening exchange. And Rio got a 6. Griffin had an excellent score, an 8-point ride. But Rio's started this one unloading some venom on the outside. Looks over his shoulder, re-engages with the ride that he's on. Cutting back now, just flowing nicely through to this inside. But he really got some great work done to kick this ride off. Really interesting, just comparing his semi-final performance so far compared to what he did in the quarters.
Just the way that he was able to put it all smoothly together. And this is crazy because Rio, he went mad on his first wave, got a 6, went, okay, I've got to launch up another gear here, and he did. Put some amazing turns together out the back on this one. But far out, man. Griffin just was so smooth and just everything was so good. Come through on the inside, he gets the finish, everything done right. And he only manages not even a full point on his first wave. These first 2 turns he threw everything at.
Yeah, that was high risk, that manoeuvre. You can see there the fins popping out completely. Full tail release. Then re-engages here. This is a really good wave here for Rio Waida. Perhaps could have gone into the 7s in my mind.
I feel like, it's way more than a point better than his first ride.
Well,
look how hard he's going at these seggies.
Again, gets up and over that section, the tail release. Look at the arm extension.
But he's cleaned it up nicely here. Let's see what Griffin can do. Just an excellent start. He's just been so well paced on his road through to this point in the contest. And mistake-free. Beautiful. Just grinding carve there, dropping that back knee and just styling out of the move. And now he's in just that moment of shimmy through the inside as he looks to gather some speed for a big finish here once again. Gets that kick on the tail, pushes for the reverse.
Far out.
This guy is switched on, Kayo, to this second semi. Both surfers with good numbers, and I think their second scores are going to be pretty good too.
Unbelievable first turn there. Really high-risk manoeuvre for Griff. Gets a little sleepy cutback, waits for the wave to go again, and just gets a beautiful carve there. Really digs in the rail. Follows it up with a little foam climb into cutback. And then, he's just looking so clean. Really, really fast, flowing turns all the way through. Speed management, totally on point here. And then Griff shows a little bit more progression on the inside. Another high-risk manoeuvre. Gets the little air rev.
Yeah, I think earlier in the event, or even in the quarters, Griff was finishing off those turns at the end, just a little safer, but pushing hard here in the semis. But how is that thing?
And just the pockety sections that he had sort of more to work with.
Oh, look out. Rio's up again and loading up for the sky. Can't make that one stick, though. He's got to be happy with the form that Rio's brought to the Rip Curl Pro this year, especially over at Winky. He just looks so fast and powerful. Here goes Griffin again, trying to better a 7.33 here. Beautiful swoop to get started. Really has just cleaned up his flow over the years. Great rail surfer, but obviously still holds all that innovation and progression. And he unloads a bit of it there on that final section. Oh, he's going to somehow hang on for a finish here. We'll see how that stacks up against his other numbers.
Looking good.
Sure is, and wants to meet his fellow San Clemente surfer in the final if he can. But where do you see this one going, Vaughan? Because
I can't tell. I thought the last wave he put so many different things on the board. He had like a big tail blow to get going, then he did this massive searing cut down. This wave's just a lot cruisier than that, even though he pulls off that last turn. I don't think it'll trouble the first two scores, but I mean, I could be way off. But I just really like that last one. Maybe it just had a bit of few too many sleepy sections or something.
I'm mid-sevens. I'm seeing another good score. I don't know if it's excellent, almost excellent, but this, have a go at the layback hack. Just all that turbulent water under him. It's so hard to control that. And
yeah,
right now, well, we're both way off.
I'll tell you one thing. He's going off.
Well,
that's
let's figure out why.
He's ripping.
Let's think about why. But, I mean, looking at that in the slow-mo again, that was ultra-high risk. You know, the critical nature of the turn was right up there in the scale zone here and feel like he has to do too much.
Oh, he's taken off really deep on this one.
Yeah.
And he's just throwing that priority right back in Griffin's favour.
That looks a little nervy.
Little nervy, huh? Well, Kaipo touched on the equipment, how it's looking under Griff's feet. He is on that driver through. A lot of success on it. So this is a little scrappy as well, taking this on the inside, unless he's just coming through to get on the ski and get back out.
Well, loading up for something big on the inside here and throws everything at it. Can't make it stick, so he's just looked a little out of sorts on his last couple of rides. Spends a lot of time travelling up to Uluwatu when he's at home. He is part of that Legian board riders crew, but just basically calls himself a local of Bali. Big float there.
Cool.
Definitely engaging the crowd. That might just help him grab a bit of confidence as he tries to overcome the world number one. Well, he's just looking for excellence now, so let's see what he can throw at us. Really clean carve to get started. Up into the pocket, flowing beautifully here at Bells Beach today on what will be our finals day. Drifts that tail, climbs up over the final section. Another solid ride. Griffin Colapinto throwing away a 7.33 at the moment.
X-Factor surfing, but there was just this sort of little class difference, I guess you would say, where Ethan was just sort of out-muscling, using a bit of experience and power to just look like the biggest surfer on the wave, and this is exactly what's happening here. Griffin just looks so in control.
Yeah, he looks on, doesn't he? Just, you know, whipping that board around at will. Just difficult sections. Oh, look, I don't even think this is going to go into his top two, but just the control he's showing is incredible. Look how low he's getting, keeping those legs just really loaded up. Just bringing all that tail completely around. Great release, and then straight back into it again. And a little bit of expression here in the dismount.
I think he feels like it might be one of his top two rides.
Did he? He drew a hoop and then jumped through the hoop. Is that what was going on there?
I think so.
They just keep changing. Keeps achieving his goals. He had a dream when he started surfing to get himself onto the CT. He's done that. He dreamed of getting into the Final Five and getting world title. That was going to be hard after a pretty poor start to the year, but he's really cleaned it up, cracking the final here as we see numbers coming through for Griffin. Again, going excellent, 8.33. And that requirement keeps going up for Rio. And that application of pressure is really affecting him at the moment.
Here we are. We're still riding him.
And we've seen incredible drive from these two competitors out in this lineup. Some big turns laid down. Griffin Colapinto, believe it or not, is trying to improve on an 8.33. He's also throwing away an excellent score. And he is digging in hard, knowing push things to improve his situation here. But Rio's right up against it. Needs a 9.9 at the moment.
Better.
There's a great swoop.
Come on.
Really tight pivot as he takes a hind line and builds speed for these final sections. Rips into it. Swings that tail around. Great variety from the Indonesian. As he looks to get himself back in the heat here. And he'll likely do it with this wave.
Wow.
That's going to be his best for sure. And after a run of throwaway scores, Rio is back. We're seeing the replay now, but Kaipo, that must have looked exceptional from the outside.
His name is Rio, and he's speeding down the line. Yeah, that was exceptional, super fast, super quick, putting it all together, getting back into the game, Rio Waida.
You see the fins coming free on those outside turns, Kaipo?
They were so quick. Yeah, the fins were in the air, and just his transition, the quickness between maneuvers. Again, What a matchup. I think Rio's right back in this.
5.5 minutes to go, waiting on the numbers to come through. Here's a slow-mo, Richard, of that big outside hit.
Yeah, deep bottom turn into that fin drift. And after each one of these turns, he resets himself perfectly. Great extension. Look at that back arm, nice and high, gets that tighter pivoting turn happening. Geez, there was almost Kelly Slater in that turn, that one little moment. That's Kelly's signature move there. I actually don't mind this little shimmy up the top there, little high line to set up this next section here. Now he digs back into the rhythm. This beautiful turn here for me just gets that full tail blow, redirects, digs it back in, shows us something radical. Each one of those turns was slightly different. And then he got all the way to the finish here and gets this finishing turn. So for me, the only difference when I compare the two really on these sort of higher scoring rides is maybe Griff just has this little edge in power, whereas, you know, Rio's showing a little bit more flair. But this, to me, has to go into the excellent range.
It's got to be power, right? Like that's what we're not seeing.
In the slow-mo replay of that first hit when the fins came free, the wave did kind of flatten out a little bit as he rode out of that move, which might have just sort of taken the crisp.
No, he should be fine. And you, as you said, this is a real confidence booster for Rio. He'll go into Western Australia feeling good and full of energy. What a great performance. But undoubtedly, Griffin Colapinto, an incredible performance, was the winner and moves through to the final.
Looking composed, looking strong. Threw away a number of strong rides in that heat too. But a healthy heat score total on his road through to his first final here at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach.